Welcome, everyone. It's the 2024-25 NFL season with the ambassador, David Eby, Greg Roth, and yours truly, Eric Glazer. This is your Sharp Squares podcast. Welcome back, everyone. Last season, we grinded through a DraftKings Pick Five ATS record of 56%. We did a little bit better in our 3-2-1 contest, going 61%. We'll talk about the difference between those two contests for those of you listening to us for the first time in a moment. Greg, David, welcome back.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Hi, Dave.
Nice to be here. Hey, Greg. Nice to see you.
Eric, happy birthday, by the way. For those who are probably downloading the podcast Saturday morning, getting ready for college football, getting ready to place their picks, getting their Sharp Squares picks, to Saturday, September 7th, a day we all mark in our calendars, Eric Glazer's birthday. At Eric Glazer on Twitter, X, Elon. Wish Eric a happy birthday. Tell him the ambassador and Greg Roth sent you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Also, the birthday of ESPN. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. So we should get to it. I want some energy today. We have some week one jitters, but we're ready to go. We have a couple of new podcasts we're following this season. We've got a production team behind us that has kicked ass this week, most of whom are all now veterans. We are a well-seasoned, well-oiled machine here at the Sharp Squares, and I think we're going to have – I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this week. I'm feeling good about the season. EB's going Sharp Squares hat, Sharp Squares t-shirt for those of you who are just listening in. And yeah, let's rock and roll. For those of you who are new, we make picks the following ways. First of all, we're in the DraftKings Big Pick Five contest, and we will use those lines. We'll get into that in a moment. We track, and we've been tracking handicappers from some of the most popular shows out there for a number of years now. This is our 6th year, I think, doing the show. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look back. And we put them into an algorithm. We rank our handicappers based upon a number of different criteria. And each week we put all of their likes and best bets into a big algorithm, and we come up with our top 5 picks of the week. And if that's not enough for you, we're also in a contest that Greg and I have been in for maybe over 10 years, called 3-2-1, where we take only 3 games and we weight it with 3 points, 2 points, or 1. So it's total 6 points available to us. Those lines are slightly different. We'll get into that later. And we make those picks for you as well. This is all meant to save you a lot of time. We do this in 20 minutes or less, make it 21 minutes this week one because we're rambling a bit, but that's how we do it. And it all starts with our top picks, which we rate as gold, silver, and bronze. So we're going to get into that segment right now. And to deliver you gold, silver, bronze, like he has each and every season, is everyone's favorite fellow degenerate, the Greg Roth.
Eric, thank you so much. The beauty of week one, everyone's 0-0. Everyone's optimistic, just like the Sharp Squares record. To start it out, 6 medal games. 6 medal games. There's 2 gold games, there's 2 silver games, and there's 2 bronze games. The top-rated game on the board. The picks, the Tennessee Titans. They're plus 4.5 at the Chicago Bears. Steve Physic, Scott Seidenberg, Chris Raybon, Rob Pizzola, Tommy the Hitman, Fabian Summer, and the Whale Capper all picked Tennessee. None of our sharps picked the Bears. The second gold game. The pick is the New York Jets. They're plus 4.5, traveling across the country on Monday night to take on the 49ers. Mike Lombardi, Steve Physic, Favorites Podcast, Gil Alexander, Scott Seidenberg, and R.J. Bell all picked the Jets. Nobody picked the defending NFC champion 49ers. 2 silver games. The top-rated silver game. The pick is the Carolina Panthers. They're plus 4.5. They're at the New Orleans Saints. Favorites podcast, Stuckey, Ross Tucker, and Scott Seidenberg all pick Carolina. Gil Alexander in dissent pick the Saints. The second silver game. The pick is the Atlanta Falcons. They're -2.5. They're hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kyle Long, a new sharp from a new podcast, Pushing the Pile, is on the Falcons, as is Steve Physic. Nobody picked the Steelers. 2 bronze games. The first bronze game. The pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are traveling south to take on the Miami Dolphins in Miami in a steamy, what will be a steamy Miami Hard Rock Stadium. Mike Lombardi, Chris Raymond, Steve Fezzik all took Jacksonville. Scott Seidenberg in dissent took the Dolphins. The last medal game, but bronze. The pick, it's the Seattle Seahawks. They're -5.5 at home, taking on the Denver Broncos. Marco D'Angelo and Stuckey both picked Seattle. In dissent, Ross Tucker took the Broncos. So, Eric, we make picks. Our pick 5, we're going to just take our 5 highest rated games. That's the Titans at +4.5, the Jets at +4.5, both goal games, the Panthers at +4.5, and the Falcons at -2.5, both silver games, and our top-rated bronze game, the Jaguars at +3.5. In our 3-2-1 pool, our picks, 3-point game, the Jets at +4.5, 2-point pick, the Titans at +3.5, and the 1-point game, the Jaguars +3.5.
So basically, folks, it's all about line differential. We, in our algorithm, make adjustments for line changes. If a sharp takes a game at, let's say, +3, but we're actually getting +3.5, we're going to weight that game significantly higher. And same thing if it goes in the opposite direction. So in this case, the Titans in DraftKings was +4.5, bubbled up to our number 1 pick and was part of our pick 5. In this case, in 3-2-1, we're only getting 3.5. So you could do the math almost in your head. And that's one of the reasons the Jets and the Titans flip-flopped.
That's the net result. Also, the Jaguars jump ahead. They go from a bronze game and they leap ahead of the 2 silver games to become our 1-point game, our third-ranked game in that pool.
There you go. So if you are new and all you wanted were the picks, you are now dismissed. Even those people who listen to Latin, all you want were the picks, you're also dismissed. But if you want to stick around, the team, over 20 guys, busting their butt, aggregating all the best handicapping highlights and trends from all the great shows, we're going to give you those right now. We always start with an aggregation of trends, and we're going to bring in the ambassador, David Eby, to start us off. Go ahead, David. Don't pull anything here.
I'll try not to. I warmed up sufficiently before the show, I believe. But thanks, Eric. Great to be here again this year. We're going to start off with something from Evan Abrams of the Action Network. Underdogs in Week 1 Monday Night Football games are 29-12-1 against the spread since 1998. And, of course, that applies to the New York Jets. This week at San Francisco, the spread in that game has moved from +6 to +4. Since 2000, the loser of the Super Bowl is 5-19 against the spread in Week 1. That applies, of course, to the 49ers. Then, since 1970, there have been 27 quarterbacks drafted number 1 in the NFL. In their first start, they are 4-22-1 straight up and 7-20 against the spread. That, of course, applies to Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. They are a 4-point underdog to the Titans. From Bet Labs.
4-point favorite.
Oh, you're right. 4-point favorite. My bad. Okay. From Bet Labs, since 2003, favorites of more than 7 points in Week 1 have gone 14-27. That's 34% against the spread. Bengals, 8.5-point favorites versus the Patriots is where that trend applies. And in the last 10 years, underdogs in Week 1 have got 90, 67-3 against the spread. That's a 57% clip. But if they missed the playoffs, last season. They are 90-59, which is 60%. That's against the spread as well. That's from Stuckey at the Action Network. Last trend in the last 3 years, unders are 32-16. That's 67% in week 1. The most bet tickets for unders in week 1 this year are Cowboys and Browns under 42.5, Steelers and Falcons under 42, and Packers and Eagles under 49. And that's all I've got, Eric.
The game last night, the Thursday night game, also went under, by the way, by 0.5 point.
All right, great job, the ambassador. We're now going to cover some of our top games. Incidentally, if you want notes to every single show we cover, we take great notes. And you want notes for this show, the show where we aggregate all the best stuff, join our Discord community. We've all been members of it for a number of years now. We've got over 200 members. So besides our notes, a lot of people are just sharing ideas, sharing picks that they get. And it's just a lot of like-minded squares trying to be sharp, trying to leverage information as best as we can to have fun and do better than the average Joe gambling. So go to sharpsquarespodcast.com, click on community, and we're starting off the season. Greg Roth's idea, by the way, your favorite fellow degenerate. First week free trial. Sign up. Yeah, I think you'll have to give you a credit card, but you could cancel. No issues there. You go in your first week, don't like it, you quickly cancel. There's a whole portal where you could just click in, go into a channel and type in cancel, and it will automatically just kick you out and never bill you a credit card. Pretty simple. So, and incidentally, if you do join and stay after the week and then really think we suck, email me, and I will give you a 100% discount.
What happens at the end of the week? How much is it for the season?
It's a good call. $50, $49.99 for the entire season.
It's a steal. You should raise that price.
And like I said, if you really don't like it, just let me know, and we'll refund you.
I'll send you a Venmo.
All right, let's get to it. First game, Titans at the Bears. Our P Money, Pat McQuillan, put these notes together. He's also taking a leadership role in producing the show this year. Thank you, Pat. Titans plus 3.5. Overall synopsis here. Tennessee enters the season. By the way, Tennessee, whose team is Tennessee? The professor. Tennessee enters the season as a team of interest due to a busy offseason, a lot of big free agent signings. Bears are debuting their potential franchise quarterback, but one of the league's weaker offensive lines. Scott Seidenberg said rookie quarterbacks, as the ambassador said earlier, 5-15-1 against the number in the last 21 games that they have played. First overall picks in the draft, starting at quarterback, 2-21 ATS during week 1. Steve Physic, the Bears D played very well in the second half of the season, but got a whole bunch of turnovers, and that's just not sustainable moving forward. Chris Raybon from the Action Network. Tennessee has brought in a new head coach, upgraded their skill positions in their offensive line. The free agency is looking much better. And through the draft, the whale capper adds this line moved from -4 to 3.5, indicating the market is correcting towards the Titans, possibly even undervaluing them. He suggests taking the Titans. The lines moved -4 to -3.5 on the Bears. He suggests taking the Titans at +4 or even +3.5. Incidentally, Eric Glazer also took the Titans at +3.5. Do with it as you wish. Timestamps. Bet the Edge, a new show that we're covering with the Whale Capper. 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Dream Preview, 44 minutes, 41 seconds. The Action Network, 24 minutes, 10 seconds. Forward Progress, 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
Second gold game, the Jets plus 4.5, traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. That's the Monday night game. Handicap synopsis. The theme, great Jets defense will take advantage of 49ers Super Bowl loser hangover. That's quite a long hangover. Scott Seidenberg, the loser of the Super Bowl in week 1. This was in the trends. They're 5-19 against the spread since 2000. Aaron Rodgers has won 10 straight games straight up. 10 straight games straight up on Monday Night Football, but he's only 11-8 against the spread in his career on Monday Night Football. underdogs on Monday Night Football in Week 1. Underdogs on Monday Night Football in Week 1 since 1998. 29-12-1 against the spread. That's from Scott Seidenberg Dream Preview. From Gil Alexander beating the book, the New York Jets defense is fantastic. Last season, the Jets won 7 games with no QB play. They have great players on every level of the defense. That's from Gil Alexander. From the Favorites podcast, Simon Hunter thinks the Jets feel undervalued, and even though Rodgers hasn't played in nearly 2 years, he wasn't bad when he last played, and Simon thinks he can still be a top QB. Gil Alexander, also on the Favorites podcast, agrees. He says Aaron Rodgers' Achilles injury is not a problem. He had the entire year to rehab, and he's going to be okay. 40-year-old guy with a torn Achilles, what could go wrong? Timestamp, Stream Preview, 28 minutes, 25 seconds. Beating the book, 42 minutes and 45 seconds. The Favorites podcast, 44 minutes and 15 seconds.
All right, our third game is a silver game. This is the Panthers at the Saints. The pick is the Panthers plus 4.5 points. The theme is the Sharps love Carolina and all the trends point their way. From the Favorites pod, Simon says that everyone at the Action Network is all over the Panthers, and there's tons of money coming in on Carolina, with the number down to 3.5. The spread, that is, in places. Chad says Panthers have upgraded the offensive line, wide receiver, and they got a new head coach, and they lost a lot of games last year because of bad coaching, so that should help. From the Action Network, Stuckey says road underdogs that didn't make the playoffs last year are 90, 59, and 5 against the spread. Sounds familiar. And Stuckey is betting on a team that never led in the fourth quarter last season, which seems odd, but he thinks that this is a good dog spot. And he also believes that this Panthers team will be significantly better with a second-year Bryce Young and a new head coach, Dave Canales, that has a proven track record of improving quarterback play. Also, New Orleans head coach Dennis Allen is terrible against the spread as a favorite. 8-16. That is my definition of terrible. Timestamp, Stream Preview, 53 minutes and 15 seconds. Even Money, 21 minutes and 14 seconds. Action Network, 18 minutes and 5 seconds. The Favorites, 26 minutes and 55 seconds. And Beating the Book, 1 hour, 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Great job, guys. Really good. God, like there's no rust out there. I did want to mention, and I know after each episode last season we did this. I'm only going to do it for this week, but the amount of work that goes into getting this show to you guys for Friday evening and Saturday morning, I don't want to get into it all, but it takes a freaking village. And the people that are doing this are doing it on a volunteer basis. They all got day jobs, they all have families, and they do a great job. And you need to understand that they're the ones that make E.B. Roth and I look reasonably competent, and they deserve a lot of props. You should be thanking them for all the great notes, all the great content, and the picks, win or lose, just the ability to shorten your day to get this show done in 20 minutes or less. These guys are, first and foremost, the Dream Team, Edwin Ortiz and Scott Vick, who cover the Dream Preview. P-Money, Patrick McQuillan, who covers the Action Network, also is taking a leadership role and just overseeing production of the entire show. John Koof is a beast doing Bet On It in the NFL. Our provincial PGA pro for Sharp Squares, Toby Baldwin. He covers both Even Money and the GM Shuffle. Sam White is covering CBS, Pushing the Pile. Eric Schultz, one of the best note takers in the country, covers the Favorites for you. Tony Soprano Sparano covering Beating the Book. Corey Como, our proud Canadian, covering Forward Progress. We've got Sam Haldeman covering Bet the Edge and the Covers Show. We've got the dealer, Jerry Westlow, as one of our big utility players, going wherever there is a loose end. He's awesome. Another utility player has been with us for a while, Scott Jacobson. He's great. We've got an incredible college team doing college notes. Kyle Townsend, Alex Hermes doing multiple shows. Pete Crash, Davis Shire, Anthony Tenney doing it all. as far as the algorithm, all the cool stuff that goes into that, you got Sammy the Bull Gerber. You have our incredible smart producer in Elon Weismark. No relationship to Elon Musk, by the way. You've got our community manager on Discord, Joseph Levy, and you've got all the folks that put together the handicapping highlights for you. That's Jared Go Long. That is P Money, Patrick McCohen, Chris Teaster. What a great job he does. Your boy, the ambassador, David Eby, does a great job as well, helping put all that stuff together. Your executive producers are Greg Roth and me. And as a very friendly reminder, none of those guys are truly sharp. But this is your Sharp Squares podcast.
Welcome back and good luck out there.